It says live, so I'm live. So that's why I need an introduction, so I can know that it actually does it, because it always shows me that delay. All right, I'm going for mistake-free tonight. That's my goal. I'm not going to let the camera shut off. I've got the microphone working. I've got, well, that camera's pointing at the ground because I knocked it over last night. But that's my goal. Error-free tonight. I'm going to be like, I don't know, who's error-free? Nobody. Oh, how's everyone doing tonight? It's Friday. Well, I guess radio's not the career to go back to. Looks like NPR and PBS are going to have some budgetary cuts. Such is life. Happy August. It was not 90 today, so that was lovely. Episode 62, day 213, week 31, the year of our Lord 2025. Welcome to RANDSANITY. Now, I have to keep an eye on the episodes because they were corresponding all the way up to 61 because for some reason I started on the first day, was the first day, and everything worked out great. Well, now we're in off days, so my number system is just going to get shot because it's the first, but it's my 62nd episode. See if I can keep track. I don't know if I can. I will try my best. Let's start off with this. What a disappointment. I hit the cutting room floor. No corporate headquarters. I've talked about it. My breakout episode where I'm going to be the co-star and everything, and I barely even showed up. Absolutely disappointing. I did get in touch with the producer, and I was like, bro, what up with that? No one... Apparently, the Heinz team hated it. Hated it. Did not like it. Did not like it after editing. They just thought the chef scene and everything was boring. So we'll never see that footage. We will not see more of the RANDSANITY. So you have to go back and watch the episodes and make comments. We need more comments about me. More Randy. Feed Randy. I started to go back and go hashtag feed Randy. But yes, we need more Randy, more RANDSANITY. Hey, where's Randy? More Randy, more Randy. We need more Randy. We need a spinoff. We need Randy. Randy. I need my own travel show. That's the goal here. So spin it off, people. Yeah, it was a weird episode to end on. Yeah, it was. It just was so long at that one place. Just because it should have been, the two things. It was just the one. Yeah, I not happy. There was great sadness. I literally watched it, and at the end I was like, really? That's it? It seemed very anticlimactic. I was sort of like, okay, fist bump. Bye, Steven. See you later. Well, that's the way life is. Disappointing. You just have to keep going. Run through things. Can't stop. Keep going. That's where it's at. I'm just going to turn that off. I don't want to look at it right this minute. It's in giant living color right here on the other computer screen, but I don't need to see it in the corner of my eye. Anyway, I hope everyone's doing great today. Today is, okay, the list was so long yesterday, I didn't even rewrite it. So I'm just going to go back to yesterday's page and look for it. See, I write all this crap down physically. So today was water balloon day. Did not play with a water balloon. Today was Mahjong Day. No, didn't do that. Respect Parents Day. I talked to my mom for a second. That was respect. What else? Raspberry cream pie. Girlfriend's Day. None of these things happened for me. It just didn't do it. So there you go. That was today. It was kind of, I didn't do a lot today. I did other stuff. Tomorrow, though, we've got Climb a Mountain Day. Okay, interesting. No. I'm looking at July 30th. What the hell? I went the wrong direction. I'm like, no, that's not correct. Here it is. This is today. Damn it, mistake. Well, that's not really a mistake. That was just an oversight. I'm gonna take a no contest on that one. So it's Play Outside Day, which I think that happens a lot. I think that's like the first Saturday of every month or something stupid. So I'm just going to just edit out Play Outside Day because, yeah, it's a nice day to play outside. It's National Sandcastle Day tomorrow. All right, I'm not at the beach, so I won't be building a sandcastle, but I do like sandcastles. And I did on a vacation took with me a 33-gallon garbage can, a couple of 5-gallon pails that I cut the bottoms out of, and a bunch of other things. And people looked like I was crazy, but yes, I literally built giant sandcastle, like filled the 33-gallon up with water and sand and made it super hard and compact, and then took it off because I had the bottom taken out of it, and made the form and carved it with little carving things. And yeah, it gave me something to do on the beach for hours. Hours. VFR Day, Veterans and First Responders Day. So I guess I get that a little bit. I was a first responder. I drove an ambulance. I got that under my belt. Things that I've done, drove an ambulance. National Sunflower Day, Disc Golf Day. Huh, interesting. I won't get a chance to play disc golf, but I have a disc golf hole in my garage. A portable one that I have taken and played disc golf downtown, where I put it between buildings and done it late at night, like 2 o'clock in the morning. Bounced it off windows and things. That was fun. What else? It is, wow, I wrote really crappy. Coloring Book Day, Mustard Day, Ice Cream Sandwich Day, and blah, 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 something I can't read. Sorry. Obviously, I'll rewrite that for tomorrow. My handwriting got sloppy. There was a lot. See, lots of stuff I wrote down. Get lazy. I'm just tired. You know, I write. And it happens. That's how that goes. There must have been a lot of babies being born, or a lot of people making babies. November. First days of cold. I don't know, just after Halloween. Maybe it's drunken Halloween parties. That's what's happening. People are drunk at Halloween parties and they're, you know, making babies because there's a lot of birthdays, lots of birthdays compared to some of the other ones. So that's a good one. Somewhat no particular order, a little bit out of order. Francis Scott Key, the Star Spangled Banner guy, was born today. Again, you know, it's a real person. He wrote it. So that was in 1779 was his birthday. Long dead, so I don't have to tell you that. Also born on this day in 1942, Jerry Garcia, Grateful Dead Jerry. Jerry of Ben and Jerry Ice Cream, Cherry Garcia. Yeah, that guy, Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. Died in 95, so not with us anymore. What's this one? Oh, Jeffrey Britton, 1943. Paul McCartney and Wings, since we just talked about Paul McCartney last night. He was probably there. He was probably there at Lollapalooza 10 years ago, since he plays with Paul McCartney's band and with Wings. Raymond Boz, Bordeaux, King Crimson, 1946. Rick Anderson of the Tubes, 1947. Tim Bachman of Bachman Turner Overdrive. Again, you got your name. You can take that. 1951. Also Terry Bolan of Deep Purple. 51, right. 1950, Robert Cray of the Robert Cray Band. 1958, Rob Buck, 10,000 Maniacs. 1959, Joe Elliott of Def Leppard. Not the guy that lost his arm. He was not the drummer guy. Chuck D of Public Enemy, 1960. Also Coolio, 1963 with the crazy hair, Coolio. I respond a lot of answers when people ask me something. I'll write Coolio. I think it's just weird response, but I do. 64, Adam Duritz of Counting Crows. 1974, Christian of Live, the band Live, Throwing Copper. I was listening to them live a little while ago. 1963, John Carroll Lindsay. Where you're like, who is that? John Carroll Lindsay. Don't know who that is. You do. You do. Because if you saw the movie Fargo, that was Norm Gunderson. That was wife of Margie. Always making breakfast for her, and he got his duck stamp. Norm Gunderson. That's who the actor was. And Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa kind of came on the scene to me. I didn't really know Jason Momoa until just very recently. I guess he's been around for a while. I don't know. I just didn't really pay enough attention. Deaths today, only a couple I found that were interesting enough to put down. Strother Martin. Now, who is Strother Martin? Strother Martin had their famous line in Cool Hand Luke. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Good old Strother Martin. How true those words resound today. What we have here is a failure to communicate. Also, Wilford Brimley of Cocoon and the Quaker Oats commercial. I just found that to be funny. It even said the Quaker Oats commercial. I was like, really? You're that famous because you're known for Quaker Oats? Oh, Wilford Brimley. Who knew, man? And then Goldie McJohn of Steppenwolf. Born to be Wild. I did throw a little Steppenwolf on, too. Let's throw a little music while I'm doing this stuff. I do occasionally do that. And I cannot add music. I've read more of the rules on YouTube. So if I add music, that's copyright infringement and I can get busted for that. When I did it for the big room, since they were doing performances for us, I don't get dinged with those copyrights because it's actually my music, but it's copywritten by somebody else. So they get the value for it, but I don't get dinged. That's why, because it's a live performance. There you go. And they're giving credit clearly because we have permission from the record label to do that and the band and everything else. So no one's giving me copyright infringement from the record company saying, you can't do that. No, they don't ask that. So I can't play music because I thought about music. But I did look, and I do have a subscription to Storybooks that allows me to put sound effects and music. So I have to do that. That way, if I get dinged, I can always be like, no, I have permission to use it. So I'm going to look for music I can use. My phone updated and it added Copilot to it. So now I have Copilot on my phone whether I like it or not. So AI is now intrinsically part of my phone system and service. It also added like Solitaire, Frog Hollow something and something else. I'm like, why does it do that? When it updates, I have Android. Sorry, I am not an Apple guy. But why does it, when it updates, if you have an Android, does it give you this crap that you don't want? Like Solitaire. I don't want games on my phone because it takes up valuable space, because then my phone says you're out of memory, you can't another app. I'm like, but I have these apps I don't want, so I remove them. Preloaded, but it does it every time I get security update. It adds stupid things like that. That I'm like, no, I don't play games on my phones. I don't want to play Candy Crush or whatever else on my phone. Just that's not what I do. Occasionally I will look and I will play the games on LinkedIn. There's like 4 puzzle games I'll do. I won't do Queens because it's just stupid. Because that was just dumb luck. But I do the other ones. I usually do those in the afternoon. But that's because I'm trying to wrinkle my brain a little bit. You know, I don't want to have my brain completely go to mush, as it seems to be at some point lately. All right, let's go. Completely out of order. 1774, oxygen is discovered. Now, oxygen was already here, but it wasn't discovered until 1774. I guess scientifically they were able to isolate it and find it, but I was like, what do you mean it was discovered? We were already breathing. We were humans here. There was oxygen. Just seemed funny. 1831, London Bridge opened, crossing the Thames. So London Bridge, not falling down, but open. And then 1900, the first Michelin guide. Now, I always wondered what the sort of the backstory was about that. So Michelin tires, Michelin guide. Yeah, it was 2 brothers and it was to increase tire sales. That's exactly why they did it. These guys were already thinking like, how do we get more people? We can create this totally fake thing and rate people so that they drive more to go do stuff and buy our tires. That's why they did it. And the Michelin stars are still around today, and Michelin tires are still around today. So there you go. Free promotion, free marketing. They just went ahead and figured that one out. Got to give them credit for that one, like that. So the Michelin star guide is part of the Michelin tires. Queens is stupid. You're just bad at it. Oh, man. What up, Mr. Random? Yo. Yeah, all right. That's fine. I'm just bad at it. All right, I'm bad at Queens. Fine. Mr. Random. Yo. Yo. Right back at you. Okay, then now in a particular order. Oh, right. 1941, the first Jeep rolled off the assembly line. Jeep is still around today. The old Jeeps, obviously, if you've ever watched them build these things, there's videos where you can see where they actually built them out of like flat kits when they were shipped. That's crazy that these guys built these things. They would drop them out of airplanes to like the war zones, and these guys would like assemble them right there, like, drop this in, put this thing, put the door on, put the engine in, crank a couple bolts, and drive away. I'm like, whoa. That's what we need. We need someone to produce a car like that again. Okay, that would be the way to go. Make a car that's easy like that. As Ford just said that they're going to the tariffs are going to cost them $2 billion. They're not going to raise the prices now, maybe 1%, but yeah, that won't affect us in the future at all. Cars won't get more expensive. Just saying. That's me. 1960, Aretha Franklin, first recording done in New York City for Columbia Records. Aretha Franklin, her first recording on this day in 1960. The Beatles released a book in 1963 on this day, sells out in one day. Now, I thought that was a little early in the Beatles' career, but I guess not. But sold out one day, so that's a pretty good thing. I don't know how many things they made, but 1964, the following year, on the same day, Hard Day's Night went to number one and stayed at number one for 2 weeks. Not bad, not bad. New Jersey had a pop festival in 1969. There was so many bands I didn't even bother looking and listing them because there was just too many. 110,000 people. So it's pretty good down the shore. Sonny and Cher, their comedy hour started in 1971. Sonny Bono and Cher doing their thing. That's good stuff, right? Okay. In 71, also, George Harrison did a concert for Bangladesh, which included Dylan, Ringo Starr, Eric Clapton, and others. So it was a benefit for Bangladesh. I think I've heard that. I don't think I was paying attention, but I do remember hearing something like that. In 1986, Jerry Garcia, speaking of birthdays, on his birthday, Jerry came out of a 3-week coma. So I didn't read why he was in a 3-week coma, but apparently he was in a coma for 3 weeks and came out on his birthday. So happy birthday, Jerry. Welcome back to the living. I mean, not anymore. He's gone. So in 1987, MTV Europe is announced. And Elton John goes ahead and he's the one who flips the switch with Dire Straits' Money for Nothing as the first song, which I was like, interesting. 1990, UB40 is deported for being arrested on suspicion of marijuana. Suspicion of marijuana. Arrested and then deported. Now, weren't they singing about red, red wine? Maybe they should have been singing about purple, purple buds, because that's apparently what they got arrested for instead of red, red wine. I would think they would have stay in your lane. I think that's the lesson right there. Singing about red, red wine, stick with the red, red wine. Stay in your lane there, buddy. Okay. The Stones started the Voodoo Lounge tour in 1994. I think I saw that tour in Pittsburgh, and that's when I got to meet them. I think that's the year I met them. It was 94. I'm not sure. I think that's the tour. It was in Pittsburgh. My buddy worked for the record company at that time and said, hey, let's go to the Stones. I said, okay. So I went down there and got to see that show. I think that's when it was. It was kind of a blur. It was one of those like last minute things. Drove to Pittsburgh. It was a relatively short drive. 3 hours, but I told that day, like, oh, let's get in the car and go and party and Stones and home. And yeah, it definitely was a little blur. I don't remember all of it. But I remember meeting the Stones. It was very brief too. It was sort of one of those like, oh, how you doing? Like, but yeah, in and out the door. Here's one that we can just forget about. In 1981, now I don't know why I had it out of order. 81, on this day, MTV is introduced. And at 12:01, the Buggles started their song, Video Killed the Radio Star. So I had it out of order for some reason. I'm not sure why I had that one. 1987 was Europe, and 1981 was America. I'm not sure how it jumped in there out of that order. Don't ask me, man. I just work here sometimes. 1988, Rush Limbaugh is syndicated. That was the downfall right there, people. Just so you know. Once you went to syndicated talk shows like that, radio, come on, people. Stick with music. Stick with the music. That's what we're good at. 1996, Game of Thrones is published by George R.R. Martin. What is RR stand for? I went to look it up and then got distracted, so I didn't bother. They make money on the cars. They make money on servicing the cars. Sadly, we never see a do-it vehicle that again. Maybe we could use a 3D printer to make one. You could. I guess it's true. You do make money on the service on the cars. You don't make money on the cars. I guess that's true. See, Don with a big brain there, right? I guess that's right. You don't make money on the cars. You make money on the servicing the cars. So why would you make a car that doesn't need service? So much sense. So much sense. Did I just step on cookie? But something stuck to my foot. I thought I got all the cookie. Don't know what it is. Gross. 1996, again, MTV kept true to their date. MTV2 was released. Their subsequent 2-channel, M2. I loved this one. It said in 2020. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, taking my sock out, trying to get whatever was stuck to my foot off. The headline for this one was perfect. In 2020, Musk loses his mind. I was like, all right, you hooked me. Tell me why. Well, apparently it's because Egypt had to respond to Musk tweeting that the pyramids were built by aliens. And Egypt, I guess, was like, they're not built by aliens. And they got into a sort of a kerfuffle. But I mean, right, come on, man. I mean, like, really? Aliens? I mean, that interplanetary object is going to be what? A spaceship? Is that what's zooming through the interplanetaries now that's coming up from another solar system? It's an alien spaceship with nefarious purposes. I mean, we're rife for that. You know, fake news. Hey, we're good aliens. We're not going to take you over. Take them over. I mean, we would totally just fall for it. You come and take my jobs, aliens? No, not at all. We have our own jobs. We don't need American jobs. We're good aliens. We're from the something galaxy. Oh, yes. I don't think the aliens are coming to get us. And if they are, well, you know, may we go quickly and painlessly and not be enslaved or become food. I'm just saying, you know, we'd make good pets, according to Perry Farrell and Porno for Pyros. What else? Is that it? I think that was it, right? Yeah, I think that was it. I think that was my entire list of things that happened. I didn't find a lot of other stuff, you know, the whole list of things that wasn't music or actor related, because there was just too much crap. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. Can you hear the TV? Is it really loud? The TV is upstairs. It sounds really loud to me tonight. Let's see. He's heavily answered by J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay. John Ronald Rule. Fair enough. Raymond Richard. Okay, there you go. Well, that makes sense. Hi, Jill. Thanks. Now I know. R.R. I thought maybe it was like railroad. You know, he had something affinity for railroads or something. I don't know. Whatever's on is really loud upstairs. I can hear it like through the ceiling in my small little cube. Raymond Richard. All right, now I know. Raymond Richard. I will forget that immediately. George Raymond Richard Martin, R.R. Okay, fair enough. All right, that was my list. Now I'm gonna fix this camera because it's been 24 minutes. So I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. So look, so this was such a disappointment that I have just got to tell you that I'm going to have to try and figure out when they're going to release any of these shorts. Look at that. No camera mistake because I did the edit by going off camera, clicked it on, wouldn't show you the silver screen. So I don't know what'll happen now, if there'll be shorts. I went and Stephen, he's got, you know, some of his shorts that he's done to promote this have, you know, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 views. I guess it's just not translating to his audience watching the long form of this. So I don't know. But yes, please go make comments, like, subscribe if you really want to. watch them or don't watch them, but just make comments. Comment on every one of them. Don's made lots of comments on them. I'm like, Don, look at you. There was some guy who made comments who didn't like it, apparently. He thought it was a bad bit. He was from Texas. It's a bad bit. I was going to come and be like, you're a bad bit. But I said bite. It's spelled with an E. Bite. It's a bad bite. Just saying. I watched Stephen Colbert last night. I caught a few minutes of Stephen Colbert. Now, when I heard his show was canceled, I didn't really realize that his show wasn't canceled until May. I was like, oh, I thought it was like canceled as like we won't see him anymore. I was like, oh, this is a rerun. No. It's May that he'll be canceled. See, that's how much I pay attention. I have absolutely no sense of anything. AJR, Don told me was playing at the fair, and tonight is when they were playing at the fair. Someone said, hey, you here? And I'm like, I'm not. Well, you should be down here getting those backstage passes. I was like, I don't do that anymore, right? You don't do what? I was like, okay, you are clearly living in a alternate universe. That was Randy 1.0. We're living in Randy 2.0 version 2.0 now. This is the not working in the radio station, giving access to tickets and concerts and all that stuff world. So that was disappointing for him for sure. Definitely he was disappointed. He's like, what do you mean? What? I was like, sorry, man. Doesn't happen. You haven't kept up with me very much or very well. Mm-hmm. True friend right there, as you could tell. Just saying. How do you have delicate conversations with people that are like that? I used to get requests all the time. I went through all my emails today. I got up a little bit late this morning, so I got lots of rest. I slept in for an extra hour, so I didn't get out of bed till 8:30 this morning. And then I did email for almost 2 hours. I went through all my emails. I went through all my spam. I went through all my emails. I got caught up on everything. Did all my, everything I could. I used to get lots of emails for concert tickets. And one of the things that would happen all the time was I would get emails from someone that I had not heard from for a really long time. I mean, not only months, but sometimes even, a year or more. Hey, I was wondering, are you going to go to the insert concert here? You think you can get tickets? So my pat answer to that was a non-answer, always. What I would do is I would respond, hey, whoever, how's it going? And then I would just proceed to just diarrhea from the mouth for at least a full page of whatever, just ramblings about life, the radio station, kind of like this. And just sort of talk about everything other than the concert. Or saying, hey, I haven't heard from you forever, but just sort of like, oh my God, that's great. Yeah, how's everything been? My life has been this. And I just would go on and on and on and on and on about a page worth. I mean, I always tried to make sure it was at least a full page. I mean, a lot to read, but never answer the question about tickets. 99.99 times, they would never respond. Ever. And like the one rare time someone would respond, I'd be like, sure, of course I have tickets. Let's go. Because again, if they actually took the time to read it, why not? The same thing I sort of see when people post on Facebook, they put something, somebody did today, it started like, oh my God, cancer struck and this, and you're just like, oh, okay. You kind of read about it. And then it's like, now that was not really real. It's just, I wanted you to repost this to make sure you read the whole thing. And I'm like, asshole. So I don't repost it because I'm just like, dude, that's just kind of like, bait and switch. And then people are like, oh, thank God, I'm glad you're okay. And I'm like, you're just a jackass. I was like, if you want to put that in the beginning, hey, read the whole thing because I want to make sure that you understand that this is not true or this is blah, 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 blah. I'm just seeing if anybody reads these things. But to put something out there that's kind of like that, again, I'm like, bro, really? Like, you're going to get snoozed for 30 days. You're snoozed or completely just removed. No need for that. I don't care to bait and switch. I'm not going to tell you, oh my God, this breaking news. It's not happening. I guess I've come to that realization that I don't. Yeah, that's no one's going to fall for it. If they do, it happens one time. There was a movie line about you can shear a sheep multiple times, but you can only eat it once, something like that. I don't know. I forget. It's similar to that line. But yes, that's exactly right. You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, not going to happen. That's it's not worthy of that. So you have to be careful how you do that. But anyway, that's the email requests would come again for shows. So no, I did not go to see AJR tonight, and no, I did not have backstage passes to meet the band. I'm sorry, that was not in my cards. Or I probably would not be doing this now because they probably wouldn't be done yet. But I don't know. That's unknown to me. That's completely unknown. I am still going to try and go to the fair. I don't know when the fair ends, but it's not this weekend. I think it goes at least another week. That means I get to go Monday or Tuesday when it's not the weekend. It was already sold out today. They were talking about it. I live close enough to the fair that the traffic can be nuts around now. And this is like the last reprieve for the next 3 weeks until the students come back. I think move-in's like the third week of August for the dorms. And then it just becomes chaotic here. Driving, parking, everything just becomes chaotic. So my summer respite of lack of students, it will be gone. And then the parties will start and the noise will start and the fireworks and the you name it. Just becomes all too much. And the home football games and everything else. I do believe I still have my season tickets. So that's good. So I will get to go to the football games again. It's always a fun experience to go down, to go check out all the craziness that is the Ohio State University football. As close as we get to professional sports, besides the Blue Jackets and the Crew, as I guess you get. Different than going to like a Browns game or Bengals games. But it's, still a lot of fun. Very, very much good times. If you've not been, it's worth at least checking out because of the pageantry of the grandioseness of 100,000 people in one small space. It's worth seeing for sure, to just look at the overall view of it. I always find it to be entertaining, to say the very least. Just make sure the camera works. Look, it's working. See? There you go. And I didn't have to do it because I screwed up. I'm so proud. So proud of myself. Where are we at? I did not move anything in this room. I did not change cameras because I thought the more about it, because then I'd have to change that camera if it turns off. And if I need to use it, then it would be off and I have to leave camera and do it. I am going to probably remove this one, the one that I knocked over, and go back to the GoPro that's up there. And maybe move it back a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. It's just, I think it's too exposed the way the lighting is for that. I don't know if I can adjust that. These cameras, I can adjust the f-stop on the shutters, but I can't adjust the GoPro. And I think it's almost too bright. It washes out a little bit. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm going to try my best to figure that one out. I feel the need for a road trip. I've got to do something. My road trippiness, I have not done anything for, months now, since May, right? Because that was when I did that Heinz thing that I was not featured in, damn it. But yes, please, again, go to the episodes, make comments on every single episode. More me. Feed Randy, more me, whatever. We just need to bombard it, and I'm just gonna push for that now. That's all I'm gonna push for. Don't care if you even watch the episodes, because I'm not in them enough. We need to get more me so that they go, hey, everyone seems to really like this Randy guy. Maybe we should get more of him. Yes, that's the whole point. That's why I'm asking you to do it. I'm not asking you to buy merchandise yet. Yet. Notice I say that yet. Because again, I do have that website. I just have to do it. I just have to find time to do it. Because again, it took me hours to go through email this morning and all those things. All those mundane things that I used to do all the time on a daily basis, I'm not doing. And I don't know where the time goes because I'm doing other things. I guess it just seems kind of unfathomable that I don't have time to do the simplest tasks like check my email on a daily basis. Because it used to be such a, I'll check it first thing in the morning and do this and this and this. Now it's like I get up, I do coffee, I leave, and I go start constructioning, painting, drywalling, electricaling, plumbing, whatevering. And it just seems so mundane to me. And the idea of finding a regular job, what is a regular job? That's what's so freaking to me. Because I guess I didn't really have a regular job for 35 years or 30 years. A regular job is a 9 to 5 job, and I really didn't have a 9 to 5 job. I had a 9 to 9 job, or a 9 to 5 a.m. job, or a 5 to 9 job, or whatever. But it wasn't really like a 9 to 5 job where you didn't take your work home with you. My work went home with me every single day, 24/7, because it was part of my persona. So I don't know. It seems very, very strange thinking about getting a job that would be 9 to 5, where, sort of go in there and just be a cog in the ever-ending cycle of day in, day out mundaneness. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I really just don't know if I can do it. I guess that's where the problem lies. I just haven't done it for so long. Can I retrain my brain to do that? I guess that's what it really is, and I don't want to. So I'm going to try my best. Whereas Don made a post about this that I read almost every day now. He posted it July 7th, and I read almost every day to kind of it's that book, Who Moved My Cheese. If you've read the book, Who Moved My Cheese, we used to buy that for everybody to get. It's like a 20-minute read. But it basically is just like, look, man, shit's going to happen. Things move, things change. You have to just go. Go where get out of it. Don't be stuck in that rut. Go do something new and just do it. So that's, what we guess we have to do, right? We have to do something new, all of us. Isn't that how it is? You can't just sit. If you sit, you just vegetate. You get stuck to the ground. You grow roots. So you just have to keep going. So that's why, it's version 2.0. I just have to be something else. I can't just be what I was. It doesn't exist anymore. And, caterwauling and bemoaning that fact does not make it any better, or the fact that it's not going to be there. So I don't think that way, because I can't think that way. I have to think about what is next in the forward progression. And I can only reminisce and share what was the past, but not lament about it. Because then that becomes maudlin and sad and pedantic, and you just, oh, this is just sad. So I don't feel that way. I don't, everything is cherished in that respect. It was fun while it was, but it's not. So move the hell on. Does that make sense? I think it does, right? I mean, it does to me. I have to look at it that way. You have to look at it as for sort of forward motion. So what's next? What is next? That is it. What is next? So that's I guess what I have not found. What is next? Because this I can do this, poorly, but I can do it. I just have to find a way to get this into being something that I can do. Like the Heinz Verified, that was fun. I liked road tripping. So trying to find somebody that wants to pay me to do something similar to that, I could do that. I can learn those things. I'm good at learning skills. Part of the ADHD, I can watch things and understand them and do them. I don't know. So that's the big question. What is next? Because just doing a 9 to 5 job won't work. I just won't survive it. I just know that. It won't be mentally stimulating enough. It has to be something that has weird hours or unpredictability and creativeness involved with it. So I don't know. We shall see. But I'll keep you posted. Don't worry. As I find out, you'll find out. This is there's going to be no deep cover on this one. We're not gonna hide much here. I don't think there's much left to hide anyway, so who cares, right? That's the way I look at it. Anyway, Friday night, go live your lives. I'm gonna go watch a little TV, maybe a little Sunny. Like I said, I've been trying to catch up on Sunny. I think I'm up to season 2. Yeah, the jackassery of that is just. I know why Mace liked it so much. It's just it's irreverent. In a way that I think pushes the norm of most people's ability to process that this would be funny, and you can't laugh at it because you're like, wow, my like, you know. So like the Carlos Mencia. Carlos Mencia was on the scene for about 30 seconds. I saw him in Vegas, and he was hilarious, but he made you uncomfortable, you know, because the stuff he would do is uncomfortable to laugh at. So maybe you could laugh at it alone, but if you were in a group of people, you had to be like, oh, well, I don't want someone to think I'm whatever for laughing at this, because he, you know, he definitely pushed the bounds of it. The mind of Mencia. Interesting. I wonder what happened to Carlos Mencia. I'm going to have to look him up. That's what I'll do after this. I'll look up Carlos Mencia, what happened to the mind of Mencia. Same with David Tell. We saw David Tell. He was we came out of the Riot House, which is the famous Hyatt in Hollywood. No, not in Hollywood. In what is that? Is it Westwood? Anyway, it's on the Sunset Strip, and it's where like Led Zeppelin trashed it, and they call it the Riot House afterwards. But that's where we were staying. We had to go see U2, and we came out of it and stumbled right into David Tell, who was just wasted. I have a picture of it somewhere. I'll find that. But he was just shit bagged. We were like, I got David Tell. He's like, ah. He just like, get a picture. He's in the picture. He's just like. We were like, I couldn't see it, kind of like shoved him away and kept on going. It was just really one of those strange experiences in Hollywood that you have when you run into people that, you know, you don't expect at all. But yeah, that was interesting. You think Sonny is brilliant, but think Queens is stupid. God, all right, just stop. I don't think Queens is stupid. Don's mad at me now. My bad. All right. I'm going to depart. I'm going to let you people get on with your lives tomorrow night. I'll have something different for tomorrow night. I don't know what, but something will be different. I will take some time to do something for tomorrow instead of just not going through the motions, but not being creative specifically for this show. I will do something, either intro, outro, or something. I will do that with all earnest. I promise I'll have something done. Okay? And we'll see what it is, if it works or not. I don't know. But anyway, I think I did it mistake-free. I think I made it. No mistakes. First time in, 62 days? Don't forget, like, subscribe. This one, there's only 600 views or 600 subscribers. I need 1,000 so I can move to that. You know, I'm staying here at the radio station, but it doesn't seem like I've gotten, you know, not that I don't love the people that are here, but, you know, 9 views, it's not, I'm not building, which is probably because I don't really have anything interesting or exciting to talk about most of the time. Looking at the wrong cameras, that was kind of a mistake. Crap. Anyway, I will leave you all to your lives. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Always good to see you. Always good to see the comments. Thank you guys so much. That's why the guy in the van doesn't get food. There it is. That is why the guy in the van doesn't get food. Or featured, apparently. That's the real question. Crap. Anyway, as I said, thank you. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful night, friends, and we will do this again tomorrow. But different. Fade to black. Okay. And another Friday night in my basement.